because of a lot of missed passes. So when the game's kind of going that way for you, what you want to try to do is just really simplify things, not play a complicated game, just make the simple play, get pucks in behind their defensemen, and especially for the way the Flames want to play, establish their forecheck.
It could be worse than 2-0, so that's the silver lining, and who knows, maybe we'll have a one-goal game before this Flames power play comes to an end. It's a Holmes by Abbey power play to start the second. And in the second period, the Flames with their road white jerseys on are moving from left to right on your radios. The Canucks with their home blues from right to left, and the Flames aren't off to the best start in this second period as they're hemmed in their own zone despite being in the power play right now.
Yeah, some really aggressive up-ice pressure from the Canucks on this penalty kill.
All right, here comes Brustevich. He'll cross his blue line and now the red line and give it to Pospisil, who drops. Zeri will work it right wing side, and now Cairns leaves it for Farabee, who will back it up to the blue line to Brustevich. Backs up along the line and slides it left wing side to Pospisil. Pospisil banks it off the end boards to Cairns, who had a goal and an assist last night. He feeds Farabee, gives it to Brustevich, who moves it far side to Zeri. Some nice puck movement here by the Flames. Brustevich with a slap shot, and he just misses Demko's net. And now Zeri will bounce it off a skate, and the puck ends up squirting out to center, but that looked a little bit better. See if the Flames can get back into the Canucks zone and get that power play set up again. Still 37 seconds remaining in the Pettersson penalty. There's Farabee, Miramanov, and now far boards to Cairns. He'll leave it for Zeri. Zeri, and behind the net to Cairns. Can handle the bouncing puck as Stillman scoops it up and slaps it down the ice. This pass there as Miramanov was trying to feed Suniev, and that turns into an icing call. This Flames power play is built by Holmes by Abbey. It's time for a quickie. That's right. Holmes by Abbey has 40 quick possession homes ready to go. Visit holmesbyabbey.com/quickies. Flames are going to need a quickie on the power play here. 15 seconds left on this Canucks penalty kill. Face off to the right of Prosvetov. Flames will slip the puck down the ice. Suniev chasing after it. It's knocked off balance and now taken down by Mancini. What a game it's been for Victor Mancini so far. And now Hedl picks the pocket of Basha as the Canucks are back to full strength. Hedl comes in, tries to stick handle through some traffic, but has the stick lifted and the puck stolen by Suniev, who moves it ahead to Bean. Bean trying to feed it in front, but his pass is off a skate, and the puck deflects back to the Flames' blue line.
Well, at this point in the game, I would have liked to have seen Jake Bean take that shot. It's there right for you. Traffic going to the net, just throw it towards the crease.
Here's Jeremy Poirier, who led the Calgary Wranglers in points by defenseman with a career-high 42 last season. Bishop trying to fire it in front, does, and King diving, gets a good shot off, and I'd say that's Demko's toughest save so far tonight.
Yeah, and a nice opportunity for Carter King, and he was a guy that I was excited to watch in this game tonight. I thought he was a really strong player for the group during the prospects camp and in both games. He's born and raised in Calgary, but he's really good in the face-off circle as well. He plays in all situations, power play, penalty kill, signed a 1-year, 2-way deal, and he's been skating in that third group, so a good opportunity for him to get in the lineup.
Poirier with a shot from the right point that doesn't get through some traffic in front. Pettersson all tangled up with King as Bishop and Oman fight for the puck. Ends up squirting out. Knox trying to pick it up at center is LeBate. He'll catch up to it in the near corner, but he gets ridden hard into the end boards. A big body check by Bishop. They're still tangled up behind the play and might have a fight here. LeBate's already dropped the gloves once tonight. He's got a hold of Bishop's stick. He finally gets free as Wielander will take over behind the Canucks net. He gives it to Pettersson. Pettersson up the left wing side to Oman, and he'll chop the puck in behind the Flames net. Prosvetov stops it. And now Honzek will slip it up the middle of the ice to Brustevich, but he gives the puck away. That pass for Morton picked off by Carlson, and the Canucks are going to dump it in and chase it. Brustevich gets there first and gives it to Honzek. Moves it up the middle. Morton tries to work it to Hanley. It ends up bouncing to Honzek instead. Honzek with a shot, but it's blocked by big Tyler Myers. Congratulations to the the ice to Brustevich, but he gives the puck away. That pass for Morton picked off by Carlson, and the Canucks are going to dump it in and chase it. Brustevich gets there first and gives it to Honzek. Moves it up the middle. Morton tries to work it to Hanley. It ends up bouncing to Honzek instead. Honzek with a shot, but it's blocked by big Tyler Myers. Congratulations. As Mancini comes up with the puck and gives it to Höglander, who's knocked off of it by Morin. Now Miramanov will flip the puck out to the neutral zone where Cairns takes over. Cairns will cross the Canucks line and get it in deep. Pospisil and Zeri in there on the forecheck. Zeri pushes it far corner to Pospisil. He plays it left point. Morin with a shot through traffic, knocked down and covered up by Demko. And the Canucks goaltender holds on, but the Flames, it looks like they're starting to find their legs a little bit here, Mick.
Yeah, they're definitely getting more pucks to the net as well. It's something I think Daniil Miramanov's done a nice job of in this game. And to me, coming into camp in the preseason, he looks like he's a lot faster, a little bit more jump in his step as well, and knowing that he's a guy, he's battling for a spot too.
Face-off coming up to Demko's right. At least the Flames are spending more time in the offensive zone in this second period. Poirier trying a shot. It bounces through to Demko, who fights it off, and now it is picked up and shot out of play by Kudratsov. We'll have a stoppage with almost 5 minutes gone in the second period. Vancouver's out shooting Calgary 9-6, and it's still the Canucks 2, and the Flames nothing here at Abbotsford tonight.
Another guy I was looking forward to watching was Joel Farabee, and I mean, just after coming in last season from the Philadelphia Flyers, obviously didn't have an end of the season that he wanted to, but said, I told John Abbott he worked a lot on his skating this summer, changed up his skates, been using a different skate sharpening as well, and you have to know that he's going to want to have a strong outing in the preseason.
Well, you did a deep dive on Joel Farabee there.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I do my research.
You definitely do. I'm not sure you've ever dug that deep to find out what kind of skate sharpener the guys are using before, but I love it.
I got to give John Abbott credit for that.
All right. Here's a sharp angle shot by Kravtsov that goes wide to the far corner. Now Ratu battles along the end boards, but is stripped of the puck by Bean and is picked up by Bishop, and he'll skip it down the ice. Icing waved off, so both teams will make changes. Is hustling in there with a forecheck is Hunt, but Kravtsov will beat him to it. Now Myers will move it up the left wing side to Carlson, who shoots it in behind Prosvitov's net. Flames trying to clear the zone. Lang can't get it out. Picked up in the near corner by Carlson. Tries to feed it in front, but his pass is whacked out of harm's way smartly by Hanley. And now the Flames, King will bring it in. Dump it, chase it. Lang in there on the forecheck, as is Suniev, as it's flung out in front by Hanley. And the puck will bounce back to the right point. Brustevich with a slap shot wide of Demko's net. Hanley pinching in, rims it around. Brustevich battling with Sasson. King and Kudratsev in there fighting for the puck as well, as the Canucks end up flipping it right into the Flames bench. And out of play, 14:01 left in the second. It's still Vancouver 2 and Calgary nothing.
And you can see the Flames are just slowly starting to build their game here. And I mean, I've played in games where there's been day of travel, flown all the way across North America. There was one weekend where we flew from Calgary all the way to Boston. We flew out of Calgary at 7 a.m. and played in Boston at 7 p.m.
Ooh.
Had to connect through Montreal, so I feel it.
Romanov with a shot from the right point, fought off by Demko. Now Stillman's thumped by Honzek as he clears the puck out and into Flames territory. Farabee has a bounce off a shin pad towards Demko. The next goaltender able to beat Honzek to that loose puck and give it to Kanizov, but ends up deflecting over the glass and out of play. And we'll step away with 13:39 to play in the second. Höglander with the power play, Mancini even strength, and it's the Canucks 2 and the Flames nothing. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, streaming on the Sportsnet and Flames app and on CalgaryFlames.com. point here or there, or by not doing better in the tiebreakers. It was a tough pill to swallow. As for the Canucks, it was a tough season for them, as they finished with 90 points and 4 points out of the second wild card spot in the Western Conference. But they can keep Thatcher Demko healthy this season. I feel like they're going to be one of a bunch of teams fighting for a playoff spot. Puck cleared up the near boards, not out. Morton able to hold it in. But Vilander now gets it out. Ratu turns it over at the Flames blue line though, and Morin will move it up the near boards back to the Canucks line, and Pettersson will make a quick pass to Ratu, who shoots it in behind Prosvetov's net. Morton back to get it, makes a good pass to Honzek, who moves it up the middle of the ice to Miramanov, who leads the charge across center. They'll float the puck into the near corner and then head to the Flames bench to change. There haven't been a ton of Flames who have popped in a positive way for me tonight, but I've liked Sam Morton again. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, he plays such a solid, sound game, doesn't turn the puck over. Yeah, I would agree he's looked good.
Canucks trying to get set up now, as Hedl moves it in front on the doorstep. Puck ends up bouncing away from LeBate, who is all alone in front for a moment. Now Poirier lifted off the glass and out. Myers picks it up, and Hedl's going to bring it right back in as he into the neutral zone. Kravtsov gives it away to Cairns. Cairns will dump it in and chase it. In there, 1-on-3. But now he gets some reinforcements in there. Zeri will knock it in behind the net. And Cairns will try to tap the puck to Pospisil. It slides by him and right to Stillman instead. And they'll move it ahead to Hedl. Hedl left wing side, but his pass to McEachern's broken up. Big collision outside of the Canucks bench there as Poirier and Stillman go at it. And now the Canucks go offside at the Flames blue line.
Oh, one good thing in the second period, too, is the Flames are yet to give up a shot as well. They allowed 9 in that first period, and, I mean, it's still stuck at 9 right now, so I've done a much better job, obviously, and even just looking at that from the standpoint that they haven't spent a lot of time in their own zone.
Face-off coming up outside the Flames blue line. Sasson gets the heave-ho. And now Bishop does. Maybe just drop the puck. They finally do. Carlson wins that draw versus Hunt. And now Mancini takes a hit. Today, and the Flames will play in 3 straight home openers. They'll play in the Oilers home opener in Edmonton on October 8th, and then the Canucks home opener in Vancouver on October 9th, and then their own home opener against the Blues in Calgary on October 11th. 3 games in about 3.5 days. That is a tough way to start the season.
Yeah, it's an emotional and physical roller coaster.
Puck back to the blue line. Here's Bruce Strevich. Stick handling, he shoots, and that shot deflects just wide of Demko's net. Now Bishop will backhand it behind the Canucks net. Mancini's got a goal, takes a hit from Hunt as he clears it out and down the ice, and Baines is going to beat out the icing call and drop the puck to Sasson, who cuts in front, tries a shot, but holding his ground was Prosvetov, and makes a good left pad save there as the Flames will clear it down the ice. Hunt gets in there with a full head of steam on the forecheck, and now it's centered in front. Basha back to Miramanov with a shot, blocked, and now a shot, and Hunt is stopped by Demko. And now
an appreciation for his game. He brings the same thing, the same intensity every single night, gets in there on the forecheck, causes a turnover, and then is right in the thick of things, right in front of Demko after that. And he's a guy, I have such an appreciation for his game and just the reliability and consistency that he brings.
You know exactly what you're going to get from Dryden Hunt now in his 10th pro season and 4th with the Flames organization. He's played a lot of NHL games, 235 of them with the Panthers, Coyotes, Rangers, Avalanche, Maple Leafs, and Flames. So a guy who you feel very comfortable calling up and playing. spent most of last season with the Wranglers, and he had a good year, Mick. 16 goals and 49 points in 49 games for Dryden Hunt. But I'd be surprised if we didn't see him play some games for the Flames again this season.
Yep.
Puck in the Canucks zone, and it's rescued by Pettersson. Makes a nice pass ahead to Kravtsov. Kravtsov glides in and shoots. Is stopped. He crashes into Prosvetov, and the goaltender goes into the net, and the net comes off its moorings. Hopefully, Ivan Prosvetov is okay here.
Now, it's the way the Canucks want to play is just really fast up the ice, and it's exactly what we saw there. Two forwards just flying the zone, and Adam Foote is also asking their defensemen to jump up in the rush as well, but the Canucks get a really good opportunity on that because the forwards, they fly the zone, and then defensemen
tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault him for those two goals
not at all. Flames inching closer in shots. They've got 10 to the Canucks 11. Still a 2-goal game as we approach the midway mark of the second period here in the Lower Mainland. He'll back it up behind the net to Poirier. He bats it up the near boards. Puck gets chipped out by Morton. Bean chasing after it. Can't corral it. As it's played in by Stillman, who takes a hit from Bean, and now McEachern centers it off the stick of Morton right in on Prosvetov, who has to make a save on his own guy there.
That was a nifty little play by McEachern. He hasn't seen NHL action since 2023 when he's with the St. Louis Blues, and the Canucks signed him on July 1, but he's praised for his big frame and his sound work ethic, but that was a really skilled play as well to take that puck to the net.
6'2", 193 in his 10th pro season, first for the Canucks organization. He has played in 123 NHL games with the Blues and the Hurricanes, though. Puck to the right point, here's Myers. He winds and fires. That shot goes wide of Prosvetov's net. Pospisil trying to clear Kent. And now a shot from the left point. Off the stick of Dratsev goes wide, and Flames will clear it out to center. Now Pospisil will catch up to it, but his drop pass is a poor one, and here comes Sasson the other way. Sasson streaks it up the left wing side and gets forced behind the net by Hanley. Sasson now roughed up by Hanley along the end boards as Myers pinches in. Myers with that 12-foot long stick of his, able to dig it free for Baines, who gives it to Sasson, who rims it around to the right point. It's played in deep by Carlson. Canucks are going to back off the change, though, as Hanley takes over. Joel Hanley's plus 12 rating last season was second highest in the team. Only his defense partner for the majority of the season, Mackenzie Weegar, had a higher one at plus 18.
Now, speaking of guys, you have an appreciation for his game, and I mean, that's Joel Hanley. I think it's safe to say that probably everyone in the city was happy to see him sign that extension, and Ryan Huska talks about him and just how his work ethic is absolutely off the charts, but that he's also probably the most competitive guy on the back end as well.
When the Flames signed Joel Hanley to a 2-year contract during the offseason, I knew exactly what they were trying to accomplish as a team this season. He said nobody in Calgary was upset about that extension. Team Tank probably didn't like it because Joel Hanley helped them win some hockey games last season, and well, he wants to help make the Stanley Cup playoffs this season, and we'll see if he's right back on a pairing with Mackenzie Weegar when the regular season starts on October 8th. We'll take a break with 9:20 to play in period number 2 here at Abbotsford Entertainment and Sports Center. We're on first period goals by Nils Höglander on the power play, and Victor Mancini. It's still the Canucks 2 and the Flames nothing. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, streaming on the Sportsnet and Flames apps and on CalgaryFlames.com. Just past the 10-minute mark of the second period here in Abbotsford, BC. Vancouver out shooting Calgary 13-10. Still the Canucks 2 and the Flames nothing. Flames coming on in the second period though. We'll see if they can cut the Canucks lead in half here. Played into the Flames zone. Miramanov lifts it off the glass, but not out. Battling to get it out is Basha. Bounces away from him and behind the Flames net where Miramanov will take over. They're working up the left wing side to Basha. The Calgary kid crosses center, and now the Canucks line protects it. Stick handles in, and now drops it, but right to LeBate. But it is held in left point by Bean. Bean will knock it in behind the net to Basha. Shoved off the puck by Mancini. Here's Hunt, right point to Poirier. Across the line to Bean. Bean will drop it, and now a shot by King goes deflecting wide of the Canucks net. Hunt battling for it, centers it, but there's nobody home in front for the Flames. They're in the middle of making a change, and puck slides down the ice. Here comes Suniev back in. Some nice bobbing and waving, and he drops it. But his pass handcuffs Hunt, and now Hedl will knock the puck into the neutral zone. Hedl gets by Bean, who's hit by his own man Poirier. Hedl in, Deeks, and is stopped by Prosvetov. Hedl checking himself for blood now.
Oh, what a burst of speed from Hedl as well, and blows right by Bean and Poirier. Like you said, just sort of ran into one another, and I mean that was quite the rush. And Philip Hedl, he's a guy who's, I mean, he's trying to prove that he can be that second line center that the Canucks need. Obviously, Elias Pettersson being that first line center, but they're hoping to see him kind of take the next step. And reports have all said that so far in the preseason, he's been really impressive and he's looking real good and well on his way to just really establishing himself as a guy that they can rely on that second line.
Well, that trade that the Canucks and Rangers made could work out pretty well for both teams. The Canucks had to move JT Miller, who was the best player in the deal and is now the captain of the Rangers, but you get Philip Hedl and Victor Mancini and a first-round pick for JT Miller. A shot on Prosvetov and stops for JT Miller, Eric Brandstrom, and Jackson Dorrington. And again, Hedl didn't have great numbers with the Canucks last season, but we'll see if he bounces back in his first full season with the team. But Mancini has been impressive tonight. He's got a goal, and you get that first-round pick as well. So, considering the situation they were in with JT Miller and Elias Pettersson and all of that drama, they did all right.
Well, sometimes, I mean, it just takes guys a little bit of time to adjust to new teams, and it's a fresh season.
Here's Wielander from the right point with a shot that doesn't get through a bunch of bodies in front. Now Carlson picks it up, but his backhand gets blocked on the doorstep, and Flames to clear it down the ice. Demko out of his net, dangerously plays the puck right between the hash marks, but ends up being a good play for the Canucks. Assassin goes far side, Bain shoots, and Prosvetov makes the save. Quick transition there for the Canucks and a good scoring opportunity.
It was really quick, and I mean, it was almost like the forwards just recognized immediately that Demko was coming out of his net to play the puck. And actually, I've been really impressed with the speed with which the Canucks are transitioning up the ice. And I mean, just their overall game, though, has been, I mean, they've been fast. The Flames have no time and space out there, and then you add in that speed and transition. It's made them a very dangerous team tonight.
And a penalty on the play on the Flames, Joel Hanley. So Nacho goes to the penalty box. The Flames go to the penalty kill. Canucks 1 for 2 on the power play so far tonight. They get set up in the Flames zone. Puck is knocked back to the blue line. Gratsev, far side, and a shot by Wielander. Bounces off the body and wide of Prosvetov's net. Wielander gets it back at the right point, moves it up the middle to Gratsev. Top of the near circle to Hedl, who glides in and shoots. And scores! Philip Hedl rips the shot past Ivan Prosvetov. The Canucks score their second power play goal of the hockey game and take a 3-0 lead.
Well, that's another point-blank shot that Prosvetov had to face, and Hedl's just sort of all by himself over on the flank there. You could tell Jeremy Poirier was going down like he wanted to block that shot, and be a partial screen on the goaltender too, so that's a tough one. And I mean, Joel Hanley, the reason why he went to the box is because he was sticking up for his goaltender, so that's a tough one.
And Mick, the Flames have made some pretty significant changes to their penalty kill. A hybrid penalty kill. They're working the diamond now, and you had 4 guys within about 5 feet of each other there, and Hedl had all kinds of time and space.
Well, and it's not even a traditional diamond either. Trent Cull has sort of made it his own, and so it's an adjustment for everyone all around. He said himself there's going to be some growing pains with it.
And they haven't spent a ton of time working on either side of special teams to this point in training camp in the preseason, so that'll be a work in progress. Basham, and up the right wing side, Basham handles beyond the Canucks net. Nice to center, but fans on the pass. He gets it back and moves it left point to Morin. Morin with a shot blocked by Mancini. And now Mancini tries to spring his teammate Ulrichsen, but misses with that pass, and that turns into an icing call with 6:18 to play in the second period. Canucks have turned the tide again. The Flames were the better of the two teams in the first half of the second period. The Canucks had a power play and it paid her. And now they've got momentum again and a 3-0 lead. Takes off to Demko's right. Carter King, a Calgary native, graduate of the Lake Monte Vista Minor Hockey Association and of the AAA Calgary Bisons, Blackhawks, and Buffaloes. Playing in this preseason game for his hometown team. That'll be special. Nizov will help the Canucks clear it out. Puck just inside the Flames' blue line, and the Canucks... Actually, it might be a too many men on the ice penalty coming up here. First I thought it was an offside from our odd broadcast location, but one of the linesmen signaling too many men there.
A lot of blue jerseys down there.
Yeah, we'll sort that out when we come back. 5:58 to play in period number 2. Höglander and Mancini scored in the first. Hedl has a power play goal in the second. It is Vancouver 3 and Calgary 0. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, streaming on the Sportsnet and Flames apps and on CalgaryFlames.com.
For every save a Flames goalie makes, Shane Holmes donates $5 to Kids Sport Calgary. For details, visit shaneholmes.com. Shane Holmes, the better way to build.
Flames on a Holmes by Abbey power play with a chance to make it a 2-goal game again. As Cairns stick handles in behind Demko's net. Cairns, near side to Zeri, and now back to the blue line to Brustevich. Brustevich walks to the right point, slides it across to Farabee. Stick handles in and shoots, a stop, rebound, Zeri scores! Connor Zeri chops the puck past Thatcher Demko. The Flames score a power play goal and cut the Canucks lead to 3-1.
Well, a much-needed one for the Flames, too, and the Canucks just have a ton of pressure up at the top and able to funnel a puck towards the net, and a nice... I mean, you just put it through softly, Joel Farabee, and then you have Martin Pospisil and Connor Zeri standing right on top of Thatcher Demko. And I mean, on the power play, they're not always pretty, and that one wasn't beautiful by any means, but it doesn't matter. Nice job by Connor Zary to be right there and pick up that puck.
Go to the net, and good things will happen. Rory Cairns was hanging around the net as well, so Flames on the scoreboard. Here's Basha with a one-handed shot that goes sailing over top of Demko's net. If the Flames can make it a one-goal game before the end of the second. On the attack, but puck is picked up by Hedl. Moves it across the ice. Kudratsev lines across the Flames line. Tries a shot, but it gets blocked. Puck deflects behind Prosvetov's net. And the Flames try to clear, but can't. As it's picked up in the near corner and slapped up the far side by McEachern. A bounce to the right point. Attempting a shot. Well, it's Carlson, but he can't get it through. Now Pettersson moves it into the far corner where Hunt's waiting for it, and he'll lift it up in the air and out to center ice. Puck is flipped right back in by Mancini. Prosvetov will stop it, play it into the near corner, and now Poirier will lift it off the glass and right into the Canucks bench. And out of play with 4:31 to play in the second period. It is Vancouver 3 and Calgary 1 as we bring you this game at Abbotsford from the South Point Toyota broadcast booth. Save up to $5,000 on all in-stock Tacomas. Plus, get free winter tires and free lifetime oil and filter changes under the tower at South Point Toyota. Face off outside the Flames blue line. Sasson wins it. Back to Mancini, who turns into his own territory and plays the left wing side to Pettersson. Bounces it off the boards and out, but Farabee's going to pick it up and bring it right back in for the Flames. Farabee puts on the brakes, spins and centers. Morton shoots and rips it just high. And now Miramanov with a shot that misses on the short side. Boy, a great chance there for Sam Morton.
Well, a great play by Joel Farabee.
Sure was. Here's Honzek now trying to find Suniev, but the pass bounces by him. Sasson will slide it left wing side to Carlson, who backhands one to the net, and Prosvetov does a great job fighting through some traffic to get his glove on the puck. And he'll hang on. I'm not sure the Flames like the fact that the Canucks ran into their goaltender there.
No, that's one thing you appreciate about this group as well. I feel like anytime there's opposing players that are coming towards their goaltender, I mean, they step right in. So you know that we've talked a lot about just what a close-knit group the Flames have become, and that they always have one another's back. And I mean, you see it in plays like that.
It's off to Prosvetov's right. There he'll come up with the puck. He's got the Flames goal tonight. He crosses center, but gives it away to Znizev. And now he'll send it out to center, over the stick of Lebate. And Pospisil will take over in Flames territory and back it up to Brustevich, who throws the puck down the ice. And hustling in there is Cairns, who centers it off a skate. And Pospisil overskates it in front. Pospisil picks it up in the far corner, bounces it back to the left point. Here's Hanley across the line to Brustevich. Brustevich, stick handling, shoots, and misses Demko's net. Now Cairns has it.
On that last opportunity by Rory Cairns, and what the Flames like to do in the offensive zone, they roll a forward up high in between the defensemen as a passing option, and that's what he does. He rolls up there, gets a pass, and then again, it's a matter of putting pucks towards the net, but that's a great shift from Zary, Cairns, and Pospisil, who are giving the group a bit of a spark here.
Stop coming up to Demko's left. King will take it against Hedl. Actually, no, he only gets thrown out, so Hunter Lang steps in there. Hedl wins that defensive zone draw, though, and Pettersson will clear it off the glass and down the ice, and that'll be an icing call, and the Flames will have a chance to win another offensive zone face-off. We thank you for tuning in to Calgary Flames hockey here on Sportsnet 960 The Fan. I'm Derek Wills alongside Megan Nicholson. Thanks to the rest of our broadcast crew, including our host, Pat Steinberg, in-arena board operator, Tyler Green, in-studio board op, Azam Ali Nanji, and our broadcast engineers, Evan Cody, Matt Jacusko, and Randy Opperman. Also a tip of the cap to Ryan Dietrich on the road with us here in Abbotsford. And he's got the stream for you on the Flames app and on CalgaryFlames.com. Here comes Hedl across his blue line, and now the red line, and now the Flames blue line. He leaves it left wing side. Kravtsov trying a shot that deflects wide of the Flames net. Now Hedl has it again. 72 in blue, Hedel being worked over by 72 in white, Poirier. As it comes back to the blue line, Kravtsov again tries a shot and again misses the mark. But the Flames can't get the puck out. Suniev turns it over. Picked up in behind the net by Kravtsov, who centers, and now McEachern with a shot, gobbled up by the goaltender, at least for a moment, but Prosvetov can't hold it, and the Canucks have control of it again. Kravtsov shovels it in behind the net, trying to center it in front is Hedel. Puck ends up bouncing behind Prosvetov's net, though, and the battle for it along the end boards. Suniev gets wrestled down to the ice, no call. Canucks hold the puck in. Suniev all tangled up with Hedel. And now a collision in the near corner as the Flames finally come up with the puck, and Poirier is going to snap a pass up the left wing side to Bean, and at the end of a long shift, he'll dump it in so his team can make a change. Puck is backhanded out by Kanizov. Attempting a sharp angle shot. Baines has it blocked. Flames will skate the puck out to center. Here comes Morton across the Canucks line, but a little bob and a little weave, and sends Bache in offside.
Well, if anything, this is also a great pre-scout for the second game the Flames will play as they begin the regular season. And I mean, you're getting a good look at the pressure that the Canucks are going to be playing with this season. To me, it looks like it's just really aggressive, but then they also have layers in beneath that pressure with really sound positioning, really good sticks as well. It's one thing they've done a lot of is intercept passes.
A preview of the Canucks' new way of playing under new head coach Adam Foote. That's a great point you make, Mick. There's Miromanov. They'll play the puck in behind the Canucks net. Myers being hassled by Farabee, gets rid of it. And Kudratsov will skip the puck down the ice, right in on the Flames goaltender Prosvetov, and he'll set it up for Morin. For the final 60 seconds of the second period here in Abbotsford now. Canucks up by 2. Putting on some pressure on this shift, but the pass across the line by Kudratsov is broken up. Puck comes out, and Myers will just fling it back in as him and his teammates head to the bench to make a change, and the Flames will follow suit with now just under 40 seconds to play in the second period. Puck lifted off the glass and out to center ice. Stillman overskates it. Now Cairns will give it to Pospisil, who's been fighting it a bit tonight, in my opinion. Canucks will pick up the puck and get it in deep. Ulrichsen, and there on the forecheck. Can't come up with the puck as Zeri comes back defensively and leaves it in the near corner for Miromanov. Twisting and turning to protect the puck from Stillman. Stillman wrestles him down and now picks up the puck. Stillman centers. McEachern to the doorstep. Oman! Stopped by Prosvetov. Loose puck, and they can't shovel it in the net. Prosvetov making a snow angel, and now a last-second shot misses. And Flames dodge a couple of bullets in the final minute of the second period, and we'll head to the dressing room down by 2. The Canucks had a 3-0 lead on first period goals by Hoglander with a power play and Mancini even strength, and then took a 3-0 lead for the second period power play goal by Hedel, but Zeri gets one of those 3 goals back, and it's Vancouver 3 and Calgary 1 at the end of 2.
I'm not sure how Ivan Prosvetov made those last couple saves, had some help from his defenseman and Miromanov. Rory Cairns was right in there along the goal line helping him out as well, but I thought that was a better period for the Flames for sure. Just were able to generate some more momentum in the offensive zone, draw some penalties, and then capitalize on the power play.
We'll see if they can inch a little closer in period number 3. Shots on goal in the second period favored the Canucks, although after outshooting the Flames 9-4 in the first, Canucks wound up with 13 shots to the Flames 9 in the second. So 22-13 through 2 periods of play. On special teams, the Flames 0 for 2 on the Holmes by Abbey power play and 1 for 3 on the penalty kill. So for a PP and a PK that looked pretty good in the first 3 preseason games, we're back to the drawing board after what we've seen through 2 periods of play in preseason game number 4 of 8 here tonight. But we've got a 2-goal game going to the third period. We'll see if the Flames can battle back and take a bite out of the Canucks lead here in Abbotsford. But before that, we're going to send it to our downtown studio where Pat Steinberg is standing by with our Flames Talk second intermission. here on NHL.com. Connor Zary with power play goal to make it a 2-goal game, and that's where we're at heading to the third. It is Vancouver 3 and Calgary 1. Derek Wills alongside Megan Mickelson. Preseason is more about evaluation than it is about wins and losses, although you'd much rather win than lose, and these guys are competitors. They'd like to find a way to win tonight, but through 2 periods of play, Mick, any individuals stand out in a positive way for the Flames?
Well, I think Ivan Prosvetov he's played a strong game. I mean, considering some of the saves that he's had to make, I don't think he's necessarily by any means been set up for success. And I know that he's allowed 3 goals, but I think that he's looked strong. And then again, for me, I mean, Sam Morton, I think he's been solid in this game. Another guy who's jumped out is Joel Farabee. You know, whether it's dropping the mitts or trying to just give the group a spark, I think that he's been a real catalyst when he's been on the ice.
Well, as we expected, Ivan Prosvetov is going to go the distance tonight, but we do have a goaltending change for the Canucks. Nikita Kolopilo in to start the third period in relief of Thatcher Demko, who looked sharp when tested in the first 40 minutes. So we'll see if the Flames can get to Kolopilo. Undrafted, now in his 7th pro season. He's got good size. He's 6'6", 229. Spent most of last season in the AHL, going 20-14-2 with 2 shutouts, 2.66 goals against average, and 902 save percentage in 36 regular season games. And then did get into one playoff game, lost it though, despite having good numbers, 2.68, 913. Helped the Abbotsford Canucks win the Calder Cup last season. In this third period, the Flames with their road white jerseys on are moving from right to left on your radios. The Canucks with their home blues from left to right. Hanley will pick the puck up and fire it to the Canucks blue line, but it ends up hopping away from his intended target, Farabee. And Hanley has to go back to get it. He'll slide it far side to Brustevich. Brustevich loses it, finds it, and leaves it for his partner, Hanley. Takes a hit in the near corner from Carlson as Farabee will pick the puck up and give it to Brustevich, who then gives it away to Hedl. Brustevich, though, with a good recovery, able to strip Hedl of the puck. And then Morton gives it away to Hedl. Hedl centers it. Here's a shot in front by McEachern, and a fantastic save by Prosvetov.
Now, a really strong save. I think that's the first turnover, I would say, in all the games he's played so far in the preseason we've seen from Sam Morton, but Prosvetov looking really strong. He was square up to that shot and made that save look really easy.
Stop coming up to Prosvetov's left. Bishop loses it to Hedl, pulls the puck back to Myers, and he'll backhand it into the far corner. Bean, who definitely looks stronger in the preseason, will one-hand the puck out and down the ice. Worked very hard on his strength and conditioning during the offseason. Was healthy enough to do it for the first time in a while. There's a centering pass by Bean and a one-timer by Hunt. Deflects wide of the Canucks net. Now Poirier with a shot off his own man Bean. Bean, though, will throw it into the near quarter to Bishop. Tries to leave it down low, but his pass gets intercepted, and Hedl will play it up the near boards to McEachern, who clears it out. They're going to pile up out at center. And maybe an injured Flame. Tough to see from our vantage point, but yes, we do. Jake Bean has gone down.
Yeah, just a bit of an awkward collision, and we were just talking about Jake Bean and just how strong he looks out there and looks fast as well. And one thing he really excels at is, as a defenseman, it's obviously important to have a strong gap in the neutral zone. That's something he does so well, and just gets tangled up on that play and falls awkwardly.
Head athletic therapist Kent Kabaka will check him out. Jake Bean very slowly gets up and heads down the tunnel towards the Flames dressing room. I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to play one on the radio, but definitely looks a little worse for wear. I can tell you that Dryden Hunt was not happy with the guy who threw that hit. And excuse me, bless me. And that was Vilmer Ulrichsen. And he is sent to the penalty box, and the Flames are going to head to a Holmes by Abbey power play here.
It's tough to see Jake Bean go down the tunnel, too. I mean, just talking about him, this was one of the reasons why he had such a good summer is because he's finally healthy and able to train the way he needed to. So hopefully he's okay.
Flames 1 for 3 with a man advantage. See if they can make it a one-goal game again here, Mick. With the face-off for Stevich. Will dump it in behind the net. Battling for it along the end boards. Cairns can't come up with the puck as the Canucks will send it out. And now Oman will glide across the Flames line, but he throws the puck away. Actually, it turned into a pass. Pettersson slaps one wide of the net. Cairns now gets held up by Oman as he tries to get to it. Pospisil is going to battle with Sasson as Brustevich takes over. He gives it to the Flames goal scorer Zeri, who glides in. Zeri will spin and drop to Pospisil. Flips the puck into the far corner to Farabee. Farabee will leave it for Cairns. Cairns spins and returns it to Farabee. Scored against the Oilers up in Edmonton on Sunday. Farabee back to the blue line to Brustevich, and now left point to Zeri. Zeri through a seam, a good pass over to Farabee, who backs it up to Brustevich, who shoots, is stopped, rebound, and able to get his glove on it. Tolopilo will hold on.
Yeah, some good patience by Joe Farabee on the half wall there, and a nice shot by Hunter Brustevich up from the top. And we talked to Cale McLean after the game on Sunday just about the Flames power play, and one thing they're really looking for is having a strong shot mentality, and it's a great shot by Brustevich, but important too, the Flames have guys right on top of the blue paint. Rory Cairns doing a nice job.
So Connor Zeri scored his power play goal in the second, going to the net. Canucks cleared down the ice. Brustevich back to get it. This Flames power play is built by Homes by Avi. It's time for a quickie. That's right, Homes by Avi has 40 quick possession homes ready to go. Visit homesbyavi.com/quickies. Comes Cairns up the right wing side, now into the Canucks zone. He stops and drops to Farabee. Under 40 seconds remaining in this Flames power play as Farabee moves it to the middle. Zeri will drop it back to Brustevich, who slips it far side to Farabee, who gives it back to Brustevich, who bats it back to Farabee, who throws it in front off the stick of Pospisil and wide of the Canucks net. Now Cairns near side to Zeri, up top to Brustevich with a shot, and he whips it just wide of Tolopilo's net. Pospisil's able to keep it in left point. 15 seconds left in this Canucks penalty. Flames looking dangerous as they try to make it 3-2. Cairns battling forward in the far corner. Canucks come up with the puck, and it is dumped down the ice.
Well, some good looks and some really good puck movement as well in that power play.
Penalty to Ulrichsen is over. Hopefully Bean's all right. He's gone to the Flames dressing room. Pettersson tops the puck up in the far corner. Bishop will knock it loose for Hunt. He pokes it back into the corner. Morton trying to feed it in front, but his pass gets intercepted. And here come the Canucks across center. Peedle glides in and flips it into the near corner to Stillman. Stillman being watched by Morin. Loses control of it and now gets it back and gives it to Hedel, who plays it right point to Wielander. Wielander spins into the near corner, turns to his left, lifts it off the glass, and takes a weird hop. Hedel plays it back to the blue line. Pettersson goes down low to Hedel, tries to flip it out in front of the Flames net, but puck ends up bouncing right to Hunt. He gets wrapped up in the near corner by Baines, and we got a battle for it along the end boards. Their man up. He'll knock the puck loose for Hunt. Lifts it up in the air and out to center ice. And he's off. Slips it up the left wing side. His pass handcuffs Hedel, and Yermanov will clear it out. And now Kanizov will fire it right back in as the Canucks complete a change. We've reached the 5-minute mark of the third period here at Abbotsford Entertainment and Sports Center, where it's the Canucks 3 and the Flames 1. Here's Sasson down low to Carlson. Carlson will play at left point. There's a shot from the blue line, blocked. And a nice job there by Lang to get in front of that shot by the Canucks. Flames will try to control it inside of the Canucks zone, but King can't corral it. Now gets played back to the Flames blue line where Poirier takes over. Poirier being watched by Carlson. Send it out to center to Suniev. He gives it to King. King trying to flip it back to Suniev in the give and go, but that doesn't get to him. Suniev goes down awkwardly as the puck squirts out to center ice. Keckert knocked off the puck by Pospisil, who drops it off to Morton. Morton scurries into the far corner, takes it in behind the Canucks net, as it chopped off a stick by Mancini. Canucks will bank it off the boards and out. And it's good to see Jake Bean back out there, Mick, as it's centered in front. Kravtsov finds McEachern on the doorstep, and he gets stopped by Prosvetov.
Another huge save by Prosvetov, and I mean, to me, his game has not wavered all night long. Another strong save.
Big hit by Pospisil along the far boards. As puck comes free for Farabian, he'll fling it in behind Filipilo's net. As we have passed the 6-minute mark of the third period, Vancouver's out shooting Calgary 25-15, and it's the Canucks 3 and the Flames 1 here in Abbotsford. Oman can't get across the Flames blue line. Pistevich keeps him out. Now the Canucks will get it in deep, or actually they'll flip the puck over the glass and out of play as signaled by Connor Zeri. And we'll take a timeout. As we approach the 7-minute mark of the third, it is the Canucks 3 and the Flames 1. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, streaming on the Sportsnet and Flames apps and on CalgaryFlames.com. Sharky days away.
Sharky days, yeah.
Good to see him score last night.
Yeah, I thought he had a strong game.
He's off right at center ice here. Kearns wins that draw versus Hedl. Manov will move it up the far boards. Honzek can't accept the pass, and comes Stillman in over the line. He gets pushed off the puck by Morin. And now Honzek gets sandwiched and then takes a slash from Stillman after getting caught between him and McEachern. Manov will skate the puck up the ice, loses control of it. McEachern works it left wing side to Stillman, who drops it. Stillman fires it in front, Hedl to Stillman, and that shot goes fluttering over top of the Flames net. That was a nice passing play by the Canucks. Mancini moves a near corner. McEachern tries to set her to Stillman, but it bounces over the blade of his stick, and the puck goes down the ice. Chase Stillman, first round pick of the Devils back in 2021. Split last season between the AHL's Utica Comets and Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Hasn't really found his stride offensively yet.
No, apparently he's been just a positive surprise under the radar in camp so far.
Yeah, he's made some nice plays tonight, Nick. And up the right wing side, here comes Ulrichsen. He gets cut off by Poirier. Ends up in the puck back, tries to step out in front with it. It's loose in front of the Flames net, but Hunt will take over, and he gets wrapped up by LeBate. We've got a penalty call coming up against the Canucks. Hunt trying to one-handed pass ahead to Bishop, but the Canucks touch up and the whistle sounds, and the Flames are hanging around in this hockey game. They're down 25-15 in shots. They're down 3-1 in goals, but they're about to head to another Holmes by Ivy power play with a chance to make it a one-goal game again.
Yeah, and you have to give them credit. I mean, we've talked about it. It's the preseason, and at this point, you're down 2 goals in the third period, and it's all about your process, and you just kind of have to forget about what's happened so far in this game. I think that they've gotten stronger as the game has gone along, including their power play, which is getting better and better as we move along here.
I think they've been fine since the first. Would you agree? Didn't like the opening 20 tonight, though.
Still a few too many turnovers for my liking.
That's fair. It's Ratu leaving it behind for Pettersson, who circles in behind Prosvetov's net and reverses it. Sasson in the far corner is contained by Pospisil. 4 Flames in there digging for the puck, and they finally come up with it as Cairns will skate it ahead and dish it off to Zeri, who's got the Flames' only goal tonight. Zeri crosses the Canucks line, but gets checked. Good work there by Baines as Canucks will sail it down the ice with a minute 22 remaining in their penalty to LeBate. They're trying to find the puck at his feet. Backs it up to Brustevich. Thought he had a good game last night. And Trent Call, who joined us post-game in the Hot Stove Lounge, agreed. Thought it was by far the best game that he's played so far this season. Carlson with a shot knocked down and covered up by Prosvetov. And now Pospisil gets into it with member of the Canucks, Brustevich, in there as well, with some words and some pushes for Oman.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought Hunter Brustevich had a really strong game, and Trent mentioned when we spoke with him that was his best performance of all of any of the games he's played, practices, or anything that they've seen so far, and they wanted to see him just kind of take that confidence and run with it and roll with it into this game tonight. I mean, it's tough. You're playing back-to-back games with travel, and I mean, when the team isn't performing, that hurts individual performance and vice versa, but I thought he looked really good last night.
Faceoff coming up to Prosvetov's left. Hunt will take it versus McEachern. McEachern wins it. Puck gets away from Stillman, though, and Miramanov will take over and behind the Flames net. Works it up the left wing side to Basha. Crosses the red line. And now the Canucks blue line. Basha protecting the puck from Mancini, who with that long stick steals it from him. Hunt battling to get it back for the Flames, and he does. Hunt up the near boards to Basha. Basha can't corral it, but it is held in by Honzak, who drops it to Basha, who moves it back to Honzak, and he'll return the puck to Basha in the near circle. Basha back to the blue line to Miramanov, left point. They'll play it across to Suniak. Suniak rink wide to Basha. Basha in front on a one-timer, scores! Or he doesn't score! How did that puck stay out?
Wow.
I need to get another look at this.
Yeah, hopefully we get a look at the replay. I mean, it looked like he had a wide open net to shoot from, but it's just some really good puck movement, and Dryden Hunt a one-timer right from the slot. I mean, it's tough to see on the replays that we're getting.
Oh,
that somehow stayed out of the net.
Nikita Tolopilo,
wow,
reached back with his stick and rescued the puck right as it was about to cross the goal line.
When he realized it was there at the very last second, but I think everyone in the building thought that puck was in the net.
Well, you could hear the reaction from the fans just moments ago when they saw the replay up on the scoreboard here in Abbotsford. Everybody was waiting for that replay, Mick, because I'm not sure anybody in the arena knew how that puck stayed out of the net until they saw it. All right, so it's still 3-1. 7 seconds left in this Flames power play as they came very close to making it 3-2 there. Puck slopped up the near boards, not out. Beam back in the game, moves the far side to Hunt. Tries to center the puck, but his pass is picked off by Ratu, and busting it up the right wing side. Here's a backhand by LeBate out of the box, and that's stopped by Prosvetov. Myers will hold it in, move it behind the net. Beam moves it up the near boards to Hunt. Hunt misses Bishop with a pass. The puck will bounce deep into the Canucks zone, and that'll be an icing call on the Flames.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if the Flames are just disconnected or kind of throwing pucks to areas and they're not sure if somebody's there or not. They're forcing passes through the middle of the ice. There's just been a lot of turnovers over the course of the game, and that's definitely something they're going to want to limit and eliminate. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I've ever seen the Vancouver Canucks play this aggressive of a style of game.
Faceoff coming up to Prosvetov's right. I know he's given up 3 goals on 26 shots, but I think he's been one of the Flames' best players tonight.
I agree.
In the battle to beat Dustin Wolf's back up. It's a shot from the left point, off a body and wide of Prosvetov's net. And now Bishop will take over. And the veteran will work it up the left wing boards to Beam. And he'll lift it up in the air and out. His knees off. Backs it up into the Canucks zone. Here is Myers. Myers will lug the puck across the red line and now lift it over Amirmanov's head. And Poirier will take over and quickly clear it out to center ice and ahead to King. Steps in up the right wing side, cuts to the middle, tries to feed it in front, and he had Lang on the doorstep there, just couldn't get him the puck in time to shoot it. Now it's through the middle of the ice, but Hanley's able to hold it in for the Flames, at least for a moment, but now here comes Baines the other way for the Canucks. Baines will cut across the ice and drop it. Mancini shoots it, misses Prosvetov's net. Here's Hedl, back to the blue line, and now a snapshot through some traffic, gloved by Prosvetov, and pretty good save on that shot from Kudratsev. We'll take a break with 8:29 to play in the third period here in Abbotsford, where it is Vancouver 3 and Calgary 1. And this is Calgary Flames Hockey on Sportsnet 960, streaming on the Sportsnet and Flames apps, and on CalgaryFlames.com. Knowing who's going to be backing up Dustin Wolf when the Flames and the Canucks get their regular season started. Matter of fact, the Canucks' first home game of the season will be against the Flames on October 9th, and I suspect whoever is backing up Dustin Wolf to start the season will get to start in that hockey game at Rogers Arena in what is the Canucks' home opener.
Well, I've been talking to Jason LaBarbera this morning. It sure didn't sound like they were any closer to that decision.
I know which way I would lean, but there's still 4 preseason games to go. Pospisil will backhand the puck into the Canucks zone. It's quickly cleared out by Wielander. Now Baines will chase it into the Flames end. Hanley holds him up, and now Baines clobbers Hanley with a big hit along the end boards. Hanley will pick the puck up, bounce it off Farabee's stick, and deep into the Canucks zone, and that'll be an icing call. Bill Hanley can throw those hits, and does a pretty good job taking them from time to time as well.
Oh yeah, he popped right back up after that, and I mean, he partially threw the hit as well. I would actually say he more so threw that hit and launched himself into the board.
Yeah. So. Taking a look at the replay, yeah, you're right. That was not a hit by Baines. That was a miss by Hanley. It looked like a big body check along the end boards. Back to the right point. Here's Myers across the line, and now a snapshot goes off the tip of Prosvetov's trapper, and that comes out. Morton will pick it up at the red line, but he overskates it, and the Canucks will get it in deep again. Bean goes back to get it. Played behind the net to Poirier. Poirier with a hard pass out to center ahead to Cairns. He crosses the Canucks line and drops it off to Zeri, who's got the Flames' only goal. Zeri will spin into the far corner. There he holds the puck, turns to his left to get away from Ratu, and now moves it down low to Cairns. Cairns centers it in front, looking for Hansek, but he misses him. Now Bean's got it. He'll bounce it off of Zeri's skate. Then behind the net is Bean takes another hit. He bounces right back up, and now he's got the puck on his stick. Bean to Cairns with a slap shot, fought off by Tolopilo. That's his best save so far tonight. And the Canucks will just dump the puck down the ice.
Well, there we see again the Flames having a high forward roll up into the zone, and that's what happens. Jake Bean finds Rory Cairns, and he's done that a number of times tonight. Cairns is pop up into that high F3 spot and then gets a great shot off. And I know you had a great chat with him this morning, but in talking to Trent Call after the game last night, we asked him about Rory Cairns, and he said that the challenge for him now is just to play with pace and to do that on a consistent basis.
Stop coming up to Tolopilo's right. He took over for Demko to start the third. Puck gets lifted over the glass and right into the Canucks bench. 6:48 to play in period number 3. Coming to you from the Abbotsford Entertainment and Sports Center, and more specifically from the South Point Toyota broadcast booth. Don't wait to make the switch. Get free winter tires and free lifetime oil and filter changes only at Calgary's #1 volume Toyota dealer, South Point Toyota. Might not be thinking about winter tires right now, Mick. What a fall we're having in Calgary. But you know how it works.
Yep.
If you live in the mountains, the snow can come at any time. Although the next couple of weeks look pretty good. Deep in the Flame zone, Morin able to take it away from Hedl. Work it up the left wing side to Sudia. Sudia ahead to Bishop. Bishop trying to feed it in front to Hunt, but the pass is picked off by Knizov. Hedl trying to clear the zone for the Canucks. Turns away from Sudia and snaps the pass up the left wing side. McEachern busting in. Morin gets back and cuts him off. McEachern still gets a weak shot away, but he had Brosvitov leaning right, and Flames goaltender had to whip out his left pad to make an awkward-looking save.
I thought Etienne Morin played that absolutely perfectly, though, and not a hard shot for Brosvitov to save. So a great play by Morin, who's trying to build his defensive game.
Puck comes free for Baines. Marcy Baines coming off a strong season. 43 points in 50 regular season games, 24 in 24 postseason games to help the Abbotsford Canucks win the Calder Cup.
Yeah, he was up and down last season a number of times, and he said he's here to prove that he's ready to be a regular.
Farabee will turn the puck over in the neutral zone. And then he battles and gets it back from Kravtsov. Puck ends up floating into the Flames' end. Bean will clear it out. And now the Canucks bring it right back in. Kravtsov gets it in behind the net. But Stillman falls, and the Flames are going to break out with it. Poirier walks it up the right wing side, tries to saucer it in front to Honzek, but pass sails past him, and now Myers will take over, lug it across his blue line and bounce it up the near boards, and Ratu will dump it in before the Canucks sneak in a line change. A little bit less than 5 minutes remaining in regulation time now. Vancouver out shooting Calgary 29-18, and it's still the Canucks 3 and the Flames 1. Cairns drops the puck to Hunt. Hunt will give it to Zary. Zary glides in and throws it in front, looking for Hunt, looking for the redirect, but a good glove save by Tolopilo. And we'll take a break. Our final one tonight, Höglander and Mancini scored in the first. Hedl opened scoring in the second before Zary got one back. Add them all up, and it's the Canucks 3 and the Flames 1. And this is Calgary Flames hockey on Sportsnet 960, streaming on the Sportsnet and Flames apps and on CalgaryFlames.com. outside of the Peter Maher radio broadcast booth, sponsored by South Point Toyota at the Scotiabank Saddledome. It's a little more centered than where we're at here at Abbotsford Entertainment and Sports Center tonight. Just to paint a picture for you, we're literally kind of even with the end boards behind Ivan Prosvetov's net right now. And a battle for the puck in the Canucks zone. Bash in there in the forecheck as it's flung out in front by Hunt. To the surprise of nobody, Dryden Hunt has been hard to play against tonight.
I think he's been one of their best, if not their best forward over the course of the games. Yep. Every single shift just seems to be making something happen.
A little bit less than 4 minutes to play in the third period. Flames did not play a good first period. Better in the second and in the third. But have not been able to get any closer than two. At least not yet. Sam Morton would be on my short list for best Flames tonight as well.
Yep.
He's out there right now, centering line with Joel Farabee and Martin Pospisil. Puck gets by Bean at the right point. He'll hustle back into the Flame zone to pick it up. Quickly move it out to center to Farabee. Farabee drops it back to Bean. Bean with his head up finds Poirier. Poirier will stick handle the red line and backhand the puck right in towards Tolopilo, who lets it bounce wide to the near corner. There's Morton left point to Bean. Bean with a shot, and that one goes off the stick of Kravtsov, and now we've got a foot race for it. Catching up to it in the Flame zone is Ulrichsen. Ulrichsen checked by Bean. Finds Poirier. Poirier will stick handle the red line and backhand the puck right in towards Tolopilo, who lets it bounce wide to the near corner. There's Morton left point to Bean. Bean with a shot, and that one goes off the stick of Kravtsov, and now we've got a foot race for it. Catching up to it in the Flame zone is Ulrichsen. Ulrichsen checked by Bean. Canucks get in there in the forecheck to try to recover the puck. Carlson battling along the end boards, being held up by Bean. Carlson and Bean get all tangled up as the puck will pop out of that pile and back to the left point. Pettersson rims it around and up the near side looking for Wilander. Hops away from him, but Carlson will grab it, get it to Baines, who slides it left point. There's a shot off the stick of Pettersson that's fought off by Prosvetov. And now Bean will grab it and bounce it off Farabee's stick and down the ice. And looks like icing's going to be waved off. Yes, indeed, as both teams will sneak changes in with just under 3 minutes to play in the third period of this two-goal game. Aaron's trying to come up with it at center, can't. Now he does, and he'll back it up into his own zone to Brustevich, who makes a nice pass through a seam over to the goal scorer, Zeri, who shoots it in, and there goes Prosvetov to the Flames bench. Hunt, after a strong night, is the extra attacker. But the puck is chipped by Brustevich and into the Flame zone. Stillman in there, cut off by Miramanov, and now Canucks will back off the change as Hunt takes over behind the Flames net, gives it to Brustevich, who sends it out to center to Zeri. Zeri will leave it right wing side for Hanzek, who gets it in deep. Along the end boards, Pettersson gets wrapped up by Zeri. And a six-man fight for the puck in behind Tolopilo's net. Hanzek, with the extra 15 pounds that he put on during the offseason, able to knock it loose for Hunt. But his pass back to the left point gets by Miramanov, and Flames have to chase it back into their own zone. Now 90 seconds left. Flames have an extra attacker out there trying to cut the Canucks lead to one. Hunt in on the forecheck. Banging and crashing in the near corner is Pospisil. Slides it fireboards to Brustevich, but we've got a penalty call coming up. And this is going to be on the Flames by the looks of it, Mick.
And the guilty guy.
It back into their own zone. Now 90 seconds left. Flames have an extra attacker out there trying to cut the Canucks lead to one. Hunt in on the forecheck. Banging and crashing in the near corner is Pospisil. Slides it far boards to Brustevich, but we've got a penalty call coming up. And this is going to be on the Flames by the looks of it, Mick.
And the guilty guy is Dryden Hunt. I was just thinking that's a vote of confidence from Ryan Huska and having Hunt out on the ice late in this one. You could tell that Dryden Hunt, as he heads to the penalty box, that he's not too pleased with himself either.
So the Flames will head to a penalty kill. The Canucks power play is the reason why they're ahead by a couple of goals in this game, Mick. They are 2 for 3 with a man advantage.
And I just got to look at the replay of the penalty also. It's a corner battle. It's a tough one for Dryden Hunt. He's trying to lift a stick and it ends up a stick in the face. So it's a high sticking call, but he's just in a corner battle, an unfortunate call.
Face off to Prosvetov's right. He's back in there. His team shorthanded. Stick handling in Hedel. Centers. His pass handcuffs Mancini. And here comes Morton the other way. Maybe a shorthanded chance for the Flames. Morton and up the left wing boards. It's caught from behind. Good hustle back by Gratzev. Canucks will come off the puck as the Flames back off to switch up their penalty killers with now just under a minute remaining in the third period here in Abbotsford. Gratzev, middle of the ice, looking for Hedel, and hops away from him and right to Bean. Bean trying to spring Farabee, but the pass is picked off, and now Hedel will play it up the left wing side to Ulrichsen, who tries a sharp angle shot, stopped by Prosvetov, and the Flames goaltender will hold on, and now Bean gets into it with the much bigger Ulrichsen, who is 6'6", 214. Bean 6'1", 193, but he has been roughed up a couple of times tonight. Probably isn't a happy camper. And now Ulrichsen and Bishop get into it.
Yeah, Bishop came flying off the bench there in a hurry, on a mission.
Well, of course, the Calgary Wranglers and the Abbotsford Canucks will play some games this season, and Clark Bishop's wily old veteran, Mick.
Yep.
He might remember that license plate number.
You appreciate that, though, a guy sticking up for his teammates.
Absolutely. Canucks win the offensive zone draw. Just over half a minute remaining in the third here. Wielander and up the right wing side. Down low to Baines. Back to Wielander. And now up top to Carlson. Carlson. Right point to Wielander. Here, circle to Baines, who centers it right through the crease, looking for Carlson's stick, but it bounces over the blade of it. Now Brustevich will give it to Pospisil, who can't get it out. Wielander steps in and shoots and rips it wide. Rebound. Baines trying to knock it into the near corner to Carlson. It hops by him, and now Wielander body slams Farabee as the final couple of seconds will come off the clock. On the strength of a couple of power day of game. It's something that guys who played tonight who have spent time in the American Hockey League are used to, at least to a certain extent. But in the NHL, you don't travel day of game. The only time you do is coming off of the Christmas break, because you can't return until, what is it, the 27th? So sometimes you have to travel on the 27th. So not something that NHL players are used to. And training camp, it's grueling. You got practices almost every day, and for the Flames, 3 games in 4 nights. That comes to an end here tonight. So 3-1 loss. The Flames now 2-2-0. The Canucks 1-1-0 to start their respective preseasons, and now the Flames get a couple of days between games, and expecting some cuts to come between now and when the Flames will return to the ice in Winnipeg to play the Jets on Saturday.